Okay, so I want to refresh again and talk about something that is really important. So we know that our formula for a straight line is y equals mx plus c. So y is our dependent variable. X is our independent variable. M, of course, we've talked a lot about, is our gradient, or the slope, or the rate of change, all of those things. And C will give us our y-intercept, or our initial value, all of those things. Okay, so if we're given a formula in this format, so say we're given y equals 2x plus 3, how can I plot my straight line from this? So you've got a couple different options. You can start by doing potentially your table of values. So you can plot your you can work out your x and y. So where x is 0, 1, 2, 3, and then substitute in your x values into this formula and find out your y values. Plot your points and draw your graph like that. The other way that you can do it, which is a lot quicker, is that you pretty much have the information that you need right here in this equation. So we know what our gradient is and we know where it's going to cross over our y-axis. So this is our y-axis, remember? This is our x-axis. Okay, y stands up tall, x lays down low. So now I know that plus 3 is where it's going to cross over my y-axis. And that's because if I substitute in where x equals 0, so 2 times 0 plus 3. So 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3, so y is going to be equal to 3. So where x equals 0, y equals 3. Alright, so x is 0, which is here, and I go up 3. So I'm going to hit my axis, my y-axis there. Alright, my next thing that I know is that my gradient is 2. So I know that it's 2, so if I just make it a fraction, I can do my rise over run. So I know that 2 is equal to 2 over 1. Remember, 2 over 1 equals 2. If it's over 1, it becomes itself. So this tells me that for every 2 I go up, so I go up 2, I go across 1. Every 2, oh, yeah, got that? So now I've got 2 points on my graph, and all I have to do is draw a line connecting them. And that's my straight line. That's it. You can go on, if I had have gone a bit taller, I could have worked out my next point. So every 2 I go up, I go 1 across. Then I would have had 3 to make sure I was really accurate. But that's it. Once you've worked out those 2 points, you simply connect them and continue the line on. Alright, so let's scroll down and do another one. So that equation of a straight line does actually tell you quite a lot of information. So you're simply just working back from your gradient to work out your next point. Alright, so I'm going to draw in my y, that's my x. This time I'm going to go y equals half, take 2. Okay, half x. Got to have your x in there, got to have your x in there. Alright, so if that's my equation, I know that I'm going to hit my y-axis at -2, so x is equal to 0, so where x equals 0, my y is equal to -2, okay? So x is 0, I need to go down to -2. Okay, so that's -2. And then again, just using this rise over run to do my gradient. So it's telling me for every 1 I go up, I go across 2. Every 1 I go up, I go across 2. Okay? The other thing you could do is that you try to find out where it crosses your x-axis. So if I wanted to do that, on my x-axis, y is always equal to 0. So in my formula, if I make y equal to 0 and have the rest of my formula here, okay, so now I just need to go ahead and solve this. Okay, so just using algebra. So 0, if I've got a -2 here, I need to do the inverse operation. So it's going to be 0 equals 1/2 x take 2 plus 2. But remember that whatever I do to this side, I need to do to this side as well. So I need to add 2 on this side. Okay, so I'm going to go 0 plus 2. Okay, so now I've got 2 is equal to 1/2 times x. Okay, so what I've done here is I have multiplied by 1/2. So there's a couple different ways I could do this. Okay, so I could then, if I've multiplied by 1/2, I'm going to have to divide by 1/2. So divide by 1/2. Okay. So then I would have to go 2 divided by 1/2. Okay, is equal to this. The other thing is that if I've sort of gone off on a tangent here, sorry. If I break this down, okay, I've got 1 divided by 2 times x. Now with board maths, these all happen from left to right. So now the inverse of, so I'm multiplying by 1/2. What I could actually do as an inverse operation, and this is going to blow your mind. So the same thing as dividing by 1/2, it's actually the same thing as multiplying by 2. Okay, so dividing by 1/2 is equal to multiplying by 2. All right, we'll come back to this. I've gone off on a tangent. Anyway, solving for this, so I know that x is going to be equal to 4. Okay, through algebra, I've discovered x is equal to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, correct. I've actually found that by using my rise over run. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect these 3 and then continue that line. I can continue it out this direction as well. You guys are going to be a bit more accurate than I am, but that's me drawing my line using my gradient and y-intercept. Easy done. All right, let's leave it there and we'll move on to some other stuff in the next video.